The movie opens with Emily, a schoolteacher, taking a pregnancy test in the school bathroom. She cries over her result since it is negative. Eventually, she gets herself together and leaves. While leaving, she runs into her student Brian, who is waiting for his mom to pick him up. She sits with him and shows him the pie she made for her friends. She gives him her new children's book she wrote. She encourages Brian to talk to the Hispanic janitor. She wants him to ask her to not wipe the floors until he leaves, because he could slip. Brian's mom comes to pick him up, and Emily tells her that Brian almost slipped because of the janitor, so she encouraged him to stand up for himself. But she's lying, Brian never slipped. Brian's mom comments that she will be a great mom. It makes Emily happy, since it is her only wish. While she walks, she receives a phone call from prison. A man named Jeff is calling her. Jeff is her brother, but she declines the call. On her way, she stops to look at an old tree, and proceeds to walk inside the park until she reaches a small cabinet. While she is looking at her pie, she runs into another woman named Leslie. Their mutual friend Kim invited Leslie to Emily's get-together. They start to walk to the church while talking about Leslie's love life. Emily offers to set her up with some of her husband's friends. Leslie suggests any man that would date her would be crazy. Leslie stops to look at the altar inside the church. They go upstairs and meet with the rest of the group. They greet Leslie and Emily warmly, and they get food on their plates. There is a swastika on the pie, but Emily says that it is just a joke. They decide to introduce themselves to the club one by one. First, Emily gives a speech on multicultural warfare and encourages them to not feel ashamed of their heritage. Then, she starts to talk about her pregnancy journey. She is having a hard time getting pregnant and cries because of it. Next up to introduce herself is Marjorie. She talks about her work and her issue with a Colombian girl who got promoted instead of her. She feels that this happened because the girl is brown, which made the boss choose her for diversity. She expresses her issues on diversity, and the group agrees with her. They have a hand gesture of okay for her story. The next person to tell her story is Alice. She feels isolated since nobody understands her, and she has issues with the Black Lives Matter movement. According to her, every life matters, and they should not be given special treatment. Next up is a pregnant woman, Jessica, whose father was a leader in the KKK. She is also a high-ranking member of the KKK, which is an American white supremacist clan that targets Afro-Americans, Jews, Latinos, etc. She believes in educating children and thinks multiculturalism won't work in their society. It is Kim's time to introduce herself and her issues. She has problems with immigrants. She accuses immigrants and their kids of stealing. She works at a grocery store, and she says she witnesses these things. Kim is also a journalist, so she suggests that they make a newsletter or magazine of their own to reach like-minded people. Leslie introduces herself and how Kim has been a family to her after prison. She works at the same grocery store Kim works at. After the introduction phase is done, Emily argues that society is trying to make women masculine and talks about the issues white people face. She suggests that the traditional family model of white parents is the best 0T and that society needs it. Alice tells the group she will be emailing all the details they'll talk about in the club, but Marjorie argues against it since it will leave a shred of evidence. This argument makes Emily angry since she believes none of their thoughts are illegal or wrong. Kim interrupts their little fight and talks about the newsletter. Leslie suggests Emily to have her own school so she can teach accordingly to their belief. Emily reveals her children's book to the group and they love it. They start to plan the magazine they will have. Alice suggests shaming black parents in front of their kids in order to teach their kids to be ashamed, and the group is impressed by the idea. She accidentally spills her coffee on Kim. Meanwhile, Emily leaves the room to talk with the father. He asks them to leave his church house immediately. If he catches her again, he'll report them for their racist comments. Emily invites everyone to her house, but Jessica and Alice have something else to do. They walk out of the building. Jess and Emily do the Hitler salute, while Marjorie tells them that it is wrong. Emily, Marjorie, Leslie, and Kim leave the church in Kim's van. On the way, Leslie asks about Emily's teaching career. Leslie suggests selling her vintage clothes and putting the money in interests of the club, like establishing a new school. She asks Emily to model her clothes for her. Emily accepts the offer and starts to think of having her own school. They stop at Kim's market to buy some groceries and alcohol to drink at Emily's house. Two non-white women get inside the store, and Kim and Leslie start an argument. Kim tells them that the store is closed. The women, who are sister, stand up for themselves, especially the little sister named Lily. While they are leaving, Emily stops them. She challenges them to buy the most expensive alcohol. She makes the woman pay more than the original price. While the sisters are trying to leave, Marjorie gets in front of the door and insults them. When the big sister named Anne calls Marjorie stupid, things get heated. Her little sister Lily attacks Marjorie, so Kim pulls out a gun and asks the siblings to leave. While they are leaving, Lily mentions Emily's brother who is in jail for sexual assault. It is revealed that the little sister put Jeff in jail. Emily is enraged by Lily's comment, and the other women get angry too. Emily's husband Craig shows up at the store and tries to calm Emily. Kim explains what happened to him. Leslie suggests that they pay a visit to the girl's house to mess with them. They all agree to go, but Craig doesn't agree with them. Emily rejects his opinion and lectures him on how he should protect her. While they are leaving, Craig tells them to leave their phones in the store so it can't be traced that they visited the girl's house. They all get in Kim's car. While they are having fun with the music in the car, Craig asks them to stop the music. Kim criticizes Alice for being clumsy and asks the others if she should stay in their group. Emily disagrees with Kim's point and says Alice is very organized, which makes her a valid member. They go up the hill to the girl's house and are all jealous of where the girl lives. Craig asks questions about the girl and the property to get insight. He is skeptical about this whole plan and he has a bad feeling about it, but they ignore him and proceed to do it anyway. Leslie finds the key to the house and they get inside. Craig tries to keep them in order, but they have no interest in listening to him. Emily plays with Lily and Anne's puppy and traps it in a cabinet. They look for the passports upstairs and they find them. While Craig tells them to leave, he hears Anne come home. He tells the group to hide. When Anne enters and the puppy won't show, she tries to leave the house, but they get her inside and surround her. Craig wants to calm the situation and apologize to Anne, but Kim pulls her gun on her. They tie her up, and Craig tries to leave, but runs into the little sister. He takes her inside and tries to not hurt her, while also apologizing to her for what he is doing. Craig is panicking, and he hurts Emily. He leaves the scene. The women all go outside the house to talk about what to do, while the sisters are tied and held hostage inside. Now, night starts to fall, and they are having second thoughts about hurting the sisters. Leslie wants to scare the siblings and clean their remaining fingerprint. They all decide to go with this plan. The sisters are crying inside. The group comes inside and separates the sisters. Marjorie finds the big sister's phone and plays music for them to have fun. They force the little sister to eat and drink against her will and put mayo in her hair. Marjorie records a video, but Emily warns her about not leaving any evidence behind. Lily starts to have a seizure because she is allergic to peanuts and the food they fed her had them. Leslie gets the EpiPen from upstairs, while the big sister and the women are in a panic. She doesn't inject it because Lily's eyes are closed, and it is too late. The group is in chaos after Lily's seizure. They go against each other about what happened. Emily lashes on Leslie, while Kim is too busy worrying about her kids. They decide to clean the place and make a cover-up. Emily asks Leslie to finish the job since she is too panicked. Leslie accepts the offer and suffocates the big sister so they don't have any witnesses left. Marjorie is having a hard time breathing after what they have done. Kim goes out and brings a big bag to put Lily and her bigger sister in it. They pull the bag outside. Trembling, Emily tries to clean the remains in the house. She remembers on her way out that she put the puppy in the cabinet, so she opens the door and releases it. Marjorie is having a hard time and starts having a panic attack, but Emily talks with her to calm her. They all get in the car with the bodies in the back of the van, in a bag. They discuss cleaning the house after they visit the lake. Leslie thinks digging a grave in the forest would be better. Emily and Leslie get into a fight again, but Emily apologizes. Emily tries to calm herself, but she is shaken by all the things that happen. She gets out of the car to open the gate to the pier. Emily puts her headlight on and walks towards the lake. She takes deep breaths and tries to calm down with nature, but is too shaken by everything. Emily finds the little boat and pulls it near the lake. They all collectively put the bag that has the sisters into the boat. They hardly push the little boat into the water. Leslie and Emily get inside the boat and start paddling. They have another argument on the boat, but manage to make peace. They go further into the lake and finally stop to put the bag down in the water. Emily and Leslie struggle, but manage to do it. After they leave, Anne swims up and the scene goes black.